almost redshirted.
Yeah, playing a lot of minutes, and obviously anytime you talk about Nigel Pack, a guy that has Final Four experience, one of the best guards in college basketball, huge blow for this Miami team.
Miami with the basketball as they win the tip. Brandon Johnson out of Matthew Cleveland, Florida State transfer. Here comes A.J. Staten McCray for three. And the weak side rebound by Lynn Kidd. He's a focal point, and that's his favorite shot, the jump hook in the lane.
Yeah, one of the better rebounders in college basketball. That's going to be key. When we spoke with Earl Grant, he said, we must identify Lynn Kidd on both ends, defensive and offensive glass.
BC's starting five, as you see, Fred Payne is in the lineup, making his first career start for Dion Brown, who is sick, as Chad Venning is off the mark. Here comes Miami. Staten McCray strong to the hoop, and that's what they want to do. They want to force things on the baseline.
When we asked Earl Grant, keys to the game, number one was control the pace, in particular, keep Miami out of transition. That's what they want to do.
Bill Courtney, 6 years as the head man at Cornell, 3 seasons as associate head coach, a lengthy resume with Jim Larinaga, and they remain excellent friends. And he said it was a bit of a depressing time for him in the first 24 hours, but Coach L said, make it your own team, as Lynn Kidd takes it to the hoop on Chad Venning. Miami's off to a great start.
Yeah, this is a great start if you're Miami on the road against Boston College. They've got the ball in the paint, and then they've gotten out in transition.
Our first foul is against Miami, as Pat Driscoll calls it, but Lynn Kidd strong.
And that's a matchup they are going at early on. They feel like Lynn Kidd, they can identify him, put him in the post, isolate him, and now Boston College is going to have to make a decision. Do you bring some help and double or dig?
Foul is against Matthew Cleveland. Josh Beadle throws it away. Beadle, the Clemson transfer, as Earl Grant is in his 4th year. Some pensive moments for him in the first 90 seconds of this one. And BC 5-3 at home. They're coming off a win over Fairleigh Dickinson. You see the record of Grant. He was effective at the College of Charleston, and he keeps telling us that it's a build job here. It's a rebuild job. He feels like he needs to fertilize this program, as he says.
Yeah, but nice job last year. Again, NIT performance, put a guy, Quentin Post, in the NBA, get some minutes for the Golden State Warriors. And so, again, he is certainly capable of doing it.
Cleveland in transition, and Venning the rebound.
You can see early on what Miami wants to do. Make or miss, they want to get up and down in transition and push the pace.
Miami can score and they can shoot. They're averaging 79 points per game, 49% from the field. That hasn't been the problem. Defensively, problematic. And a deflection of the Fred Payne shot, well off the mark.
Well, one of the areas Earl Grant talked with us about was they needed more production from the point guard spot. Again, that's something he's still trying to figure out, who's going to be the leader of this team from that position, and it's showing early on. Right now, Miami much better flow offensively. Boston College really has not had any flow offensively whatsoever early on in this game.
A.J. Staten McCray, transfer from Samford. He's averaging 7 points. He hit that last shot. Beadle knifing through the lane, and BC's off the schneid.
Yeah, nice job that time by Beadle, playing off 2 feet. Miami's been aggressive early defensively in the passing lanes. They're going to have to do that to soften up this defense. Somebody make an individual play to try to break down the Miami defense.
Deep three, Brandon Johnson, East Carolina transfer, and it's tipped up and in. Venning had trouble with position with Lynn Kidd, who gets credit for the hoop.
Yeah, and that's been the problem right now. Lynn Kidd really has had his way on the offensive glass. Again, that's twice now. He's just beating Venning to the spot and getting the offensive rebound.
Elijah Strong with a miss, as it's Miami ball. Lynn Kidd, the transfer from Virginia Tech. 11 newcomers, so certainly Miami, a feeling out process for them. They're still trying to find their way, as I mentioned, on the defensive end. you forget that they were in the Final Four 2 years ago, Malcolm.
Well, again, that's just the nature of college sports right now. I think the biggest thing, though, without Nigel Pack, one of the best guards in college basketball, a guy that was part of that Final Four team, he has been banged up, and certainly they are a different team without him on the court.
And some substitutions for the U with Jalen Blackman on the floor along with Joe Bett, who hoists the three, and he's got it. So Miami with the 11-point lead. They are scintillating from the field, 67%.
And it's just simple basketball right there. Just dribble drive on the baseline. Help is late, and then he kicked it to a wide-open three-point shooter in the corner.
Kelly with a good pass to Chad Venning.
And that's a nice post-entry pass that time by Chaz Kelly. That's an area Earl Grant and staff feel like they can get the ball in the paint. They want to take advantage of their size advantage with Venning in particular.
Yeah, they're going to need multiple paint touches. He told us that when we spoke to him. He thinks for them to be effective, they need to drive and get multiple paint. Brandon Johnson, the up and under. Venning on the baseline. As the clock goes off, John Gaffney, veteran official, calls the shot clock violation. And that will bring us to our first media timeout.
Well, Miami right now executing in the half court in transition, up early in this game, 13-4 on Boston College. Explanation on that. So it's going to be Miami ball coming out of this timeout.
Kidd, there you go, Malcolm. Just what the doctor ordered, that mini jump hook. How do you defend it?
They're going to have to double. It's simple as that. Right now, that is the matchup that has been a problem, and he is just having his way too easy. Right now, Miami over 60% from the floor.
Venning forced it on the baseline, and here comes the U. Joe Bay for Blackman.
Let's see if Miami goes back at Lynn Kidd. Give him a touch.
Blackman. And out of bounds off of BC. And number 3 in orange is Jaleel Bethia, who is one of the best recruits in the country. Miami's highest ranked recruit ever. Pennsylvania Gatorade State Player of the Year last year. There was some thought he might be a one and done, and he has the ball now with a jumper. But he can be explosive.
Yeah, some NBA scouts here at this game specifically to watch him. And you're right, he is a guy that many think is going to be a one and done.
Good pass by hand to Venning. Chad Venning with 4 of the 6 for the Eagles.
And Boston College has already made the adjustment. Looks like they're going to go and double now on Lynn Kidd.
That's McFarland in the game for the Eagles. A 3 off the line. McFarland's got the rebound. He's from Southeast Louisiana. As Earl Grant had to compensate. He lost 4 terrific players, including Jaden Zachary, who's now playing at Clemson, and Devin McLaughlin, who's at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, really, again, Earl Grant has done a phenomenal job recruiting, but retaining guys, again, that's just the nature right now that we're in. But he says he likes this group that he has as we take a look at another, though, transition bucket by Miami.
That's on Elijah Strong for the N1 opportunity for Joe Bay.
And this right here, again, great defense by Cleveland, one of the better defenders in the ACC. And then, again, they're going to get out in transition. That's great body control and one. Again, transition D was at the top of the list for Earl Grant when we spoke with him coming into this game, defending Miami. Look, they're going to play fast. They're going to shoot a lot of threes and put you in a lot of ball screen actions. But early on, right now, too, they've got to figure out Lynn Kidd.
And Miami had some spirited practices since Jim Larinaga resigned 6 days ago. Bill Courtney told us he loved the energy they had. He thought it was very productive. They practiced yesterday before leaving for Boston. Here comes Dion Brown into the BC lineup. He's been good in the last 3 games. He also was battling an illness all week. Did not practice, which is why he didn't start.
Yeah, he has been really good for Boston College. You talked about it. His last 4 games in double digits, averaging 11 points per game. But right now, Miami is having their way in the paint. They've just really shot at a high percentage, mainly because they're just getting quality looks.
And they're having trouble. BC's having trouble getting the ball in bounds as Joe Bay has given Miami instant energy off the bench.
Yeah, this right here, again, that's just careless turnover. Again, pressure. Again, if you're Boston College, this is where the organization comes in. Earl Grant talked about it. Who's going to step up and man that point guard position, get guys organized? Right now, Miami pressuring, giving them now some full court pressure.
Chaz Kelly started the year as the Eagle point guard. Here comes Dion Brown. Breaks the pressure for Elijah Strong. Industrious glass work. And the Eagles draw the foul. Well done by Roger McFarland. Here's next Saturday's ACC Network men's basketball tripleheader. Clemson hosts Florida State. The starters off at 2 Eastern. Then North Carolina and NC State square off in Raleigh. Finally, Virginia Tech takes on Cal. Should be an outstanding afternoon and evening of hoops on ACC Network. So a rugged start to the new year for BC as they continue to search for an identity. 0-2 in the ACC. Miami, conversely, in their last 22 games is 4-18. In their last 14 games against a Power 4 opponent, they've lost all 14. Bethia. Oh, that was special. That's why he's a pro prospect. Jaleel Bethia draws an N1.
Well, you know the talent is there. This right here, though, this is a big-time finish and 1. Eyes on the rim the entire time. My goodness, through 3, the body control and then the touch. That is just a big-time move by a player that the coaching staff, when they talk about him, they said, look, he is just a special young man. They see the talent, they see the flashes. Obviously, he's a young player, but there's a reason why there's some scouts at this game. He's just that talented.
More issues for BC and just erratic, Malcolm, trying to get the ball in bounds. They look like they're totally off kilter.
Yeah, and again, you know, both these coaches talked about obviously starting off the new year right, and certainly when you get into ACC play, getting off the fast starts is important, in particular if you're the away team, and that's what Miami has done. They're the more energetic team right now, and that's a big-time pull-up by Matthew Cleveland. And again, Boston College has not had many answers for them early on in this game.
Donald Hand's been quiet. Fouls on Lynn Kidd. That's his first, but Hand clearly is the focal point for BC on offense with 29 against Fairleigh Dickinson. The game on Saturday, a game the Eagles won. They expected Hand to be a big-time addition. He got hurt, tore his ACL, has come back nicely, but BC needs him to score.
Yeah, they do, and you know, you look at these numbers. Points in the paint right now, 14 for Miami, only 6 for Boston College. That's something Earl Grant talked about. So look, we need to be the team that's better in the paint.
Wow, that was scary as State McRae went down hard. Dion Brown also down as he tries to come back from an illness and looks a little woozy getting up.
Yeah, that was a scary fall. Glad to see both of these young men get up right here. Yeah, again, that could have been a lot worse. So fortunate both those guys are okay.
thunderous for both of them as they hit the deck with Brown at the line. Deion Brown, another focal point of this BC offense, coming over from Maryland, Baltimore County with 12 points per game in his last 3 outings. Bill Courtney, good start for him. 7.5 minutes into the game. Great talking to him. I love his attitude. He's extremely boisterous. He says he has a little bit more energy and might bring a little bit more of a celebratory nature to the locker room.
Well, again, there's a lot to play for. Again, we are just starting the new year, so plenty of basketball to be played, and he's got to be pleased with how his team has come out and responded to start off the new year.
BC ball, but an active Miami defense. That's Austin Schwartz, 23 in orange. Schwartz coming off their bench, showing some good hustle. He's a 6'4" freshman from Concord, North Carolina.
Well, right now, again, they're just the quicker, more energetic team to start this game off. Miami, it's as simple as that. Defensively, they've made it really difficult for Boston College, and then offensively right now, they're shooting close to 60%, 59% in this game. They just getting better looks.
Deion Brown, tightly guarded by Schwartz. And that's a foul on Austin Schwartz.
And all the families impacted by this. Right now, though, John, in this game, Miami, both ends, defensively, they've made it difficult. 8 points off of turnovers in this game. We've already talked about the high percentage looks they're getting. Right now, Boston College is just going to have to match their energy on both ends.
Deion Brown and hand could not tip it in. A noticeable, hungry Miami team. Matthew Cleveland with his first bucket of the game, and Cleveland is a huge part for them.
He has really been the guy. Last game, 19 points for them in a loss, but his offensive improvement. Started his career off at Florida State, now been at Miami, and that's what he's known for right there. One of the better defenders in college basketball because of his great length.
And shy, got a good look. McFarland tracks it down. Here comes Hand through a double team and somehow got it done.
Yeah, a lot of contact that time, but Hand continues to go through it. Strong move and finish with the left.
Eagles man-to-man. They'll switch up throughout the game. Kidd. Boy, he is eating on New Year's Day. Lynn Kidd in double figures. He has not missed 5 for 5.
Yeah, he has just been so consistent. Right now, leads the ACC, 68% coming into this game from the floor. That number may go up. He has really been unguardable early on.
And Miami fighting, and Blackman wins the rebound. Deep three, Cleveland. Kelly tries to keep it alive. Good hustle, and he does for Jaden Hastings, redshirt freshman. Hastings out of Orlando, averaging 3.5 points. At 9 in the BC loss to SMU. Good pass. Hastings in the post.
Yeah, beautiful find that time by Chaz Kelly, and I think that's going to be the guy. Again, he started off the year as their starting point guard. They're going to need more of that from Chaz Kelly. Again, nice read that time off the high pick and roll.
You mentioned it, BC looking for a quarterback of this offense, searching for a point guard to stabilize. Cleveland calling for a goaltend.
And this right here, again, has been the problem in this game. Lynn Kidd, they have no answer. The double has to come quicker. He's just making a quick move. Then on the other end right here, again, Chaz Kelly getting out of that high pick and roll. That's a beautiful pass and finish by Hastings. But it has been really all Miami, and it looks like it's going to be an and one situation right here.
Yep. Roger McFarland, the foul, is first with Cleveland at the line.
Actually, now they take that back. Now they're saying it's a two-shot foul. So again, they did not call basket interference on that. 9:15 to go in the first half. Boston College trailing 17, and now you got to be mindful. The full court pressure has given them some problems. Let's see if Miami continues to extend. Yeah, they're going to continue to pick up full.
Kelly on Ugachukwu, and the passes awry. Good idea as Hastings was open on the left block.
Well, Earl Grant talked with us this morning and then yesterday after their practice about being patient offensively. Look, Miami wants to push the pace. You see that. He said we have to use a lot of shot clock and be patient, make them defend. But Miami doing a good job speeding up Boston College, forcing them into either turnovers or some quick shots.
Kidd on Hastings, nifty. And Pat Driscoll calls a foul. Officiating crew of John Gaffney, Pat Driscoll, and Tommy Morrissey. One of the better crews in the country.
Yeah, veteran crew. And really, I think two things stand out. The struggles of Boston College early on offensively getting into their sets. And then this guy right here. Lynn Kidd really has been he hasn't missed.
Tells the story, doesn't it?
Yeah, he has not missed. And you know, right now, coming into this game, 7th in college basketball at 68%, and leads the ACC in field goal percentage. And he's just efficient. Coach Courtney talked with us about, he knows who he is. He asked him why he's so efficient. He said, look, he's not out there trying to shoot threes. He's a guy that wants to get on the low block and turn to his left or right shoulder with the short jump hooks, and that's what he works on.
And he's a hard worker. He's always in the gym. Venning for Kelly. You see 3 assists and 5 turnovers. And a double team blocked by Kidd. Terrific defense by the Virginia Tech transfer. Johnson Arrigu in transition. Isaiah Johnson Arrigu loses it.
And this right here, just great recovery on defense by Kidd. You talked about on the other end his offensive efficiency. He brings that rim protection for them. And you know, right now, Boston College, again, team that's so aggressive in the passing lane, try to get some backdoor cuts, and you got to be a good screening team to free up guys.
In Miami, amoeba defense swarming BC. Brown. Kidd deflects the rebound. Jalen Blackman. Kidd trying to back in. Now they doubled. Blackman thought about the 3. Ugachukwu takes it. Kelly. And stolen by Matthew Cleveland. Cleveland, former ACC 6th Man of the Year, overzealous on the break. But Miami has never trailed as they lead by Donald Hand to inbound. Luka Taves on the floor for BC. He has the basketball. Taves, a freshman from Tokyo, cousin of Jonathan Taves, the great Chicago Blackhawk. And he's hounded and fouled by Ugachukwu. That's his first, Divine Ugachukwu. 6th on the team. Ugachukwu from Sugar Land, Texas. And Earl Grant, during that timeout, what do you think he went over?
Well, he went, obviously, made a lineup change, getting Taves into the game. I think the biggest thing, handling Miami's pressure. Right now, they're just being very aggressive on the ball and then in the passing lanes.
Venning. St. Bonaventure transfer, 2nd team All-Atlantic 10 last year. And he's a load. He's a tough cover, isn't he?
He is, and I think right now, I like what Venning's doing. He's trying to work before Lynn Kidd gets the ball. Push him out further. Don't let him catch the ball so close to the basket.
Cleveland Tries to maneuver around hand, and Venning has it.
That's BC's best defensive possession of the game.
Agreed.
They pushed Lynn Kidd outside, didn't let him catch it, and then they were over the ball screens, and then they finished it off with the defensive rebound.
Venning baseline into a double, and a foul. It's on Lynn Kidd. That's the second on Kidd.
And this is what Earl Grant wanted. When we talked to him, paint touches. He wanted to get the ball, whether it's in Venning or off the bounce. Do not settle for jumpers. Again, great offense by Boston College, getting the ball into the paint. And then on the other end, they're going to need more defensive possessions like that to try to slowly get back into this game.
Venning 65% from the line. BC 74% as a team as he banks it in. Women's basketball takes over the ACC network every Thursday. Starting tomorrow, we have a doubleheader that starts at 6 Eastern with Virginia Tech hosting Florida State. Then Stanford takes on SMU at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. So it also starts on the defensive end. Miami has not had a field goal in 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, they have, and I like the changeup right here by Earl Grant. Now they're going a little full court pressure. Let's see what they drop back into. And you did mention they may potentially do some zone against this Miami team, try to change up defenses.
Brandon Johnson played at East Carolina the last 3 years. Taves. Strong. Too strong with the three. Up for grabs. Miami's got it. Bethia. Joe Bay has been terrific off the bench. Bethia. And Strong engulfs it.
Yeah, great block out that time by Donald Hand Jr.
Taves. Good take. Venning the putback. Venning has a 6-0 run with 8 points. So it's Chad Venning 6, BC or Miami nothing.
And what has happened during this stretch? I think the energy from Boston College has picked up. They break that run right there.
It's a scoring drought of 340 for the U. After the Ugachukwu make. Venning backs in, and he's got another one. He is hot with 10 points and 5 rebounds.
And much better patience that time by Boston College. Again, they swung the ball left to right. Again, they still want to go into the paint with Venning. He's got a clear size advantage, but that cannot happen right there. That's twice now. Ugachukwu twice breaking down the BC defense. 2 freshman point guards going at it. Tay's got to do a better job keeping his body in front of him.
Good blow by Ugachukwu. He's averaging 5 points, and then another one for the industrious Chad Venning. He wants the ball in the post, and BC is trying to get it to him.
Grown man move right here by Venning. This is twice. Take the contact and one. Boston College, though, still trailing.
All right, thanks very much, Taylor. Looking forward to the halftime show. Luke Hancock played 2 years for Jim Larrañaga at George Mason, so he knows just how good a coach he was.
Yeah, and Luke could flat out shoot that ball as well, too, as we talk about Coach L. And again, first time since 2011, he has not been the head coach of the University of Miami. And you look at his career wins, what he has done, every stop, whether George Mason, Miami, Bowling Green, all he has done is win. And Coach Courtney's got a great story, too, about when he was a young assistant coach, his first impression with him. Coach L flew him out as we take a look at another nice drive by the freshman. Ugachukwu has been really good, but he said, you know, back then when I was first starting off, the recruiting budgets weren't that great. Coach L flew him out. Thought he was going to be staying in the hotel, but no, he stayed at his house. And he said part of it was they woke up the next morning and played 2-on-2 against his sons. Said they lost that game, but it was mainly because Coach L was not playing any defense. That's how he says, but he's been connected with them ever since, and really said he's learned so much from Coach L.
That was a great story. And Coach L said he was exhausted. He said it was just time. And the three, so teams are matching buckets now. A.J. State McCray started quickly. First bucket in a while for him. Miami has hit 2 of 11 threes. Taves in the lane gets blocked. And he's got it for BC. Venning. Rare miss as he has scored the last 11 BC points. Johnson with a travel. Brandon Johnson turnover, but Divine Ugachukwu has been divine.
Yeah, this has been 3 times now. Again, he's been great off of a high ball screen right there. Really just a rub screen, and that's a tough finish. I've been impressed with his body control and poise. And right here, Taves thought he had a clear layup out of nowhere, the block. That's great team defense by Miami, but
and that's evident by their 5 blocks. BC has 0. Miami only averaging 3 blocks per game. So you talked about their help defense and their weak side defense. That's been aggressive.
It really has. And Boston College, though, has settled into this game. They've done a nice job slowing the pace down.
Eagles trailed by as many as 19. Beadle for Elijah Strong. Called an X factor by Earl Grant. They need him to be effective. Shot clock violation. Miami ball. That's that swarming defense again, giving BC issues.
Yeah, right now, again, they got to be better in the doubles. Miami, again, they just been aggressive. Point of attack, and then they're pressuring the point guard, and then they're aggressive in the pass lanes. Anytime the ball goes into the paint, they're doubling. So you got to be good out of the double teams in which you're passing if you're Boston College.
Ugachukwu. Rare slowing the pace. They've been run and gun. State McCray. Johnson spinning in the lane. And a foul on the Eagles. They got Fred Payne.
Right here, again, pretty good defense by Boston College. Again, try to contest, just could not finish the playoff, and got him right on the arm afterwards.
15 foul, the first on Payne. Blackman. And Payne has the rebound. Here comes Luka Taves. Cut off on the baseline by Ugachukwu. Waning stages of the first half. It's been all Miami. First game since the retirement of Jim Larrañaga. Good pass. Taves to Hastings. Oh, that was pretty.
Beautiful pass by Taves. And the coaching staff really, that's what they talk about with Taves. His passing, they know he's going to be very good for them. And they need his production now, in particular from that point guard position.
He's a natural point guard. He's played his whole life. Cleveland on hand. 5 to shoot. And out of bounds off Miami, so BC energized, and it's starting on the defensive end, but this also helps their cause.
Right here, beautiful no-look pass by Taves out of that double team. Again, he's handled the pressure, and he has been really solid for Earl Grant off the bench.
Taves the handle. In the lane, McFarland, but he traveled. So the turnover is mounting for the Eagles. That's their 8th.
Well, the only good thing about that one, again, it's not a live ball turnover where they're going off in transition afterwards.
Miami with 9 points off those 8 turnovers.
And a lot of that, though, was Lynn Kidd. Let's see the adjustments that Boston College makes. I think the biggest thing, Coach Courtney talked about it, is the energy. They're going to have to match the energy that Miami has had in this game.
And Chad Venning, part of that BC surge late in the half, with 6 field goals, but a turnover for the Eagles. Goes out of bounds. BC with Venning and Strong in the front court. Josh Beadle, Fred Payne, Donald Hand in the backcourt. Inbound by Cleveland is stolen. Miami has Lynn Kidd up front. Brandon Johnson, State McCray, Ugachukwu, and Matthew Cleveland.
That's a great job reading the scouting report by Venning on that out of bounds underneath. He knew exactly where they were going. He read it and is able to come up with the steal. Then on the other end, Donald Hand Jr., we talked about it at the tip as we take a look at the turnover. Donald Hand, player of the week in the ACC last week, and he continues to play well for Earl Grant right here through contact. That's a nice finish to start the second half.
Yeah, he's become a much more effective driver, and how about that story? They've been giving out that award since 1972. First time a father-son won it in league history. Donald Hand Sr., a terrific career in Charlottesville. And Donald Hand is the first guy in the gym every morning at 6:30. Earl Grant says he's putting up shots. And here's another one, but hounded by the defense.
That's great defense by Miami. Mainly, they're doubling Venning quick, so Venning's going to have to be better passing out of the double team, make a quicker decision.
Three, State McCray. Payne wins it. Josh Beadle. And the nifty layup for Beadle in transition. The Clemson transfer.
Just like that, it's down to single digits.
BC has never led Miami from pillar to post in the first half. The decisive edge, and there's Lynn Kidd on the baseline. If he gets hot, it's problematic for BC. Kidd has 13. He hit a double-double against #1 Tennessee with 14 and 12.
Yeah, and again, Boston College chose not to double team that time.
Strong, awkward, but fighting for the rebound. And Patrisco calls a foul. That's on A.J. State McCray, but the Eagles are running the floor well, aren't they?
Yeah, the energy has picked up. Started with their defense, and it is right here. Nice finish by Beadle. I think a big theme in this second half. Both teams really, but in particular for Boston College, Venning is going to have to be good out of the double team. And they're doubling. As soon as the ball goes down to him in the post, they're not waiting. They're running at him and doubling, trying to get the ball out of his hands. I think on the other end, Boston College is going to have to do the same. They're going to have to double Lynn Kidd.
Also Strong with his first point of the game, and he's been quiet the last couple. He only had 2 against Fairleigh Dickinson in 23 minutes. The 6'8" sophomore from Charlotte, Myers Park High School. He's averaging 10.5 points and 5 rebounds, but Earl Grant says he's one of their X factors. They need him to play well.
Yeah, they definitely need his offense. Right now, Earl Grant changing up the defense, picking up, going full court pressure.
Fred Payne. And a foul. So Payne Made his first career start for Deion Brown, who was dealing with an illness.
The energy has changed. In the first half, Miami was the more energetic team. In the second half, to start it off, Boston College has matched that, and a big reason why they're on this run and the game is back down to single digits of the energy. I can tell you right now, Earl Grant definitely talked to them about matching the energy that Miami had in that first half.
It was noticeable. It was a hungrier Miami team in the first half. The numbers on Payne. BC is 3-1, and he's scoring 10 plus. BC's already forced 3 turnovers this half after 4 forced in the first half. So Eagles trailed by as many as 19 points. That was at the 8:38 mark of the first half. And look out, Brandon Johnson blows the layup. Here comes Donald Hand for the Eagles. The 3 rims out. Kidd wins the 50-50. Good hustle by Lynn Kidd. Jaleel Bethia, highest ranked recruit in Miami history. Another turnover by the U. And a foul on Miami. They got the crowd back in the game, and a noon start, you know, probably when you played, probably didn't enjoy starting at noon.
I was never a fan of the noon games, but right here, excellent defense again by Boston College, and they've been able to get out in transition, get some easier opportunities before this Miami defense can get set up.
Is that just a product of not only New Year's Day at noon, but also just getting out of bed and going to shoot? Is that a problem?
Well, I think everything's off, right? You don't have a shoot-around. You're typically used to shoot-around as you take a look at a nice pick-and-roll, soft touch by Venning. And I think, again, slow starts obviously always a concern, a lot going on, but they have really responded. If you're Earl Grant, you have to be pleased with how your team started this second half.
Miami playing without Nigel Pack again. He's out with a left foot injury. He would be a stabilizing influence. He's their best player. Preseason first team all ACC, but Matthew Cleveland says, hey, you know what? I can shoot too.
Yeah, he continues to play well. His last 2 games, he's averaging 22 points per game, over 56% from the floor. Excellent offense that time by Miami.
Cleveland has 9. He averages 11. Payne through the double team and an N1.
Well, this right here, again, a breakdown by Miami. Not there, play through contact and 1. And Earl Grant talked with us about that. Again, they weren't able to do that to start the game off, but he said, look, we need to get paint touches, whether it's off the bounce or getting Venning involved in the offense with some post touches.
So the 3-point play completed by the Houston native Fred Payne. BC with 28 paint points. They averaged 32. Huge part of their game plan is you've emphasized Joe Bay is bumped to the ground. Paul Joe Bay gave them a lot of quality minutes off the bench in the first half. That's the 3rd on Elijah Strong. Miami scored 41 points in the first half here last year. And 41 here today. Bethia. He'll go to the line. That's on Chad Venning. First on Venning.
Well, in the screen and roll, watch what Venning does again. He drops. Again, not up hedging, and a lot of body right there. And that's what they're going to continue to do. Put Venning in a lot of ball screens and draw him away from the basket. See if he's able to get out and slide with some of these wings and guards.
Miami 80% from the line. That's first in the ACC. Roger McFarland back in the lineup for the foul play. Elijah Strong. McFarland averaging 6 points and 5.5 rebounds. Two misses by Bethia, but the follow-up rebound by Cleveland. Venning got a piece of it. Beadle. And he's got it. Coast to coast for Josh Beadle.
Well, there has been an energy shift in this game. Beadle in transition and one opportunity right now. Boston College on the roll.
Foul was on Ugachukwu before the break as Beadle rims it out. You see that BC has never led it. How about this second half? BC 406 to score 15 points. In the first half, it took them more than 13 minutes to score 15 points. Foul on Chad Venning, his second. Tomorrow night at 10 Eastern, after our women's basketball doubleheader, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every women's game. Look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule for the weekend. We've got you covered all season on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
And watch the battle between Venning and this guy right here, Lynn Kidd. Venning trying to push him out away from the basket.
Out of bounds on BC. Joe Bay and Roger McFarland were fighting for it. Miami wins. Miami 14 straight losses dating back to last year against Power 4 opponents. They're 1-8 in their last 9 games. Coming off a loss to Mount St. Mary's in overtime at home. Good hustle by Lynn Kidd, keeping it alive. Austin Schwartz in the game for Miami. Kidd trying to back in. The pass to Cleveland, and he's got it. Watch this strong inside presence by Matthew Cleveland, inside-out game.
And that's a heads-up play by Kidd. Again, Hand's thinking he's going to shoot this, so he's trying to block out right here, Cleveland. He thinks he's shooting it. That's a pass. Heads-up play by Kidd, and one. And much-needed bucket for Miami to stop this run by Boston College.
Matthew Cleveland, 12 points, one of 2 Hurricanes in double figures. Kidd has 13. Donald has been quiet with 4 points. Why is that happening?
Well, I think credit Miami. Again, they've not really allowed many swings or reversals of the ball in that first half. And then right here, again, Hand, that's what he does best, though. Again, they've loosened up this defense of Miami because of transition points and then the dribble drives. This is a great skip court pass and then Hand. Again, we talked about how well he's been playing. Get himself to the free throw line.
Foul was on Paul Joe Bay. Yeah, he's a slasher. Dribble drive artist. Donald Hand from Virginia Beach. And he has 5 points. And leading the Eagles, 15.3. Also an underrated aspect of his game, rebounding. 7.5 rebounds in the last 2 games and 7.5 overall for the season.
Yeah, he's got great size, 6'5", strong frame, and really hard to find somebody playing better over the last 2 games. Averaging 26 points per game, shooting a high percentage from the floor.
He's 8th in the ACC in rebounding. Maxime Reynaud of Stanford, who's having a terrific year, leads the ACC in rebounding.
And that's a bad foul by Venning.
Yep.
Again, he's reaching. He's already got Lynn out by the three-point line. No need to go for the steal there. He did a great job pushing him away, but he's too important for what Boston College wants to do. Again, you're going to take a look. Look, this has been a battle all game. Again, he's done a nice job. If he's going to catch it at the three-point line, you've done your job. Just don't want to go for a steal right there. Tough break for Boston College.
And he exits with 3 fouls. Hastings in, and what a dunk by Matthew Cleveland. Oh, he shook the foundation.
He does so much, Cleveland. Again, he's got great length, great positional size, can play really 1 through 4, and showing off the hops right there on the loose ball.
Excellent career at Florida State for Leonard Hamilton. Beadle. Hastings the rebound. Tries to keep it alive. McFarland steal by Paul Jobay. Put back is good by Cleveland. Cleveland has been an instant energizer on the offensive end. He has 16 points.
And John, back to my earlier point in the first half, Miami's so aggressive in the passing lanes. You got to be either an excellent screener or get some backdoor cuts, because they're just shooting the gaps, trying to come up with steals or deflections.
Payne, the deep three. Blackman's got the rebound for the U. Cleveland 10.5. Season high 24 against Presbyterian, one of their 4 wins, as Beadle tries to punch it away off of PC.
And look at this right here. Again, you got to know they're trying to shoot the gap right there. Ball fake, get a backdoor cut. That's just great anticipation and aggression in the passing lane by Miami. But on the other end, if you're Boston College, you got to know they're shooting the gaps. Now you either got to get backdoor cuts or set better screens.
You see 12 turnovers per game. They have 10. Miami has made a commitment on the defensive end from the jump. Jalen Blackman for Brandon Johnson, who was quiet in the first half. Out of bounds, Miami ball with 5 to shoot.
Great job of Beadle that time, giving up a lot of size, fighting that time in the post, almost came up with a steal.
Cleveland. And that's a shot clock violation. Turnover against the U, their 9th turnover.
Yeah, great defensive pressure that time by Boston College. Again, knew it was a short shot clock. Didn't foul, that's the key thing, and then able to come up with a change of possession.
Elijah Strong and Jaden Hastings in the BC front court, with Fred Payne playing the 1. Josh Beadle and Roger McFarland, who has the ball in the backcourt. Put back by Hastings is good.
Hastings has been solid for Earl Grant off the bench. Obviously, Venning in foul trouble. That's great work, though, on the offensive glass.
And I think Hastings is going to be a terrific player. It's my MG by way of Orlando. Schwartz for 3. Johnson still up for grabs, and Payne wins the 50-50. Here comes BC. Elijah Strong, hop, skip, and a jump, and the reverse.
Great transition offense, and Strong, nice job that time, not settling for a jumper. Excellent transition offense by Boston College.
Impressive agility by the big fella, but Jobay the blow by. Did the hard part, and he missed the bunny. Beadle for McFarland. Ball's moving quickly, but it's out of bounds off the Eagles. So Miami is led from the jump, and they're frustrated.
Made it. Earl Grant and staff deserve a lot of credit. He's just continued to get better. Certainly putting up some really good numbers this season for Boston College.
And has been neutralized for the most part by this rugged Miami defense, as Kidd backs in on Jaden Hastings, who's playing for Chad Venning, who's on the bench with 3 points. Venning leads the Eagles with 17. Luka Teju's back in the lineup as the point guard. BC has outscored the U 21-12 in the second half. Strong backing in on Johnson. Well done.
And this has been a game of the paint. And neither team really shooting threes. Boston College 1 of 8 from 3, 13%. Miami 3 of 16, 19%. Only 4 total threes made, but both teams continue to attack the paint.
Closest the score has been since it was 0-0 when they tipped it off. Kidd, 3 to shoot in the paint. Out of bounds. John Gaffney looking for help from Pat Driscoll.
I think they're going to go,
officials.
and I think they're going to go take a look at it. Important possession right here, and I think the key thing with that possession, what Boston College did, Lynn Kidd took a jump hook from the foul line, and it looks like they're going to reverse it now and just call it Boston College ball. But Boston College, again, in particular, Ace is doing a great job pushing Kidd away from the basket. Don't let him catch it, not letting him catch it on the block.
It went out of bounds off Brandon Johnson, who's been held scoreless in 20 minutes. He's 0 for 7 from the floor. Strong, too strong with the three. Divine Ugachukwu to Lynn Kidd. And a takeaway by BC.
Excellent double team that time, and then on the backside, the help side was there, came up with a deflection. You can see the adjustment Boston College has made defending Kidd.
Foul on Miami. That's on Johnson, his second. UC's had trouble defending in the second half, but not the case today. Those numbers tell a glaring story.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been lopsided, and today really has been a really different story. I think in particular, the three-point field goal percentage, they've done a nice job defending the three-point line, something Earl Grant talked to us about in his keys to the game, defending Miami. Obviously, transition D and then defending the three-point line. Miami really has not been a factor in that area. 3 of 16, 19% from the three-point line.
Strong trying to tie it up. 71% from the line. And they are tied for the first time since it was 0-0. DC checking Divine Ugachukwu full court. Luka Taves, who went to the Newman School right down the road in Boston, excelled there. Austin Schwartz. Weak side board by Roger McFarland. Here come the Eagles. McFarland in the lane. Could not sustain. Schwartz had numbers, but he'll take it and he'll make it. Well done in transition by Austin Schwartz.
Yeah, just a breakdown, though, by Boston College. Nobody stopped the ball. He just kept going. Nobody stepped over to stop the ball, and heads-up play.
Miami averaging 79 points per game. McFarland the three, and he's got it. There's your first BC lead of the ball game at the 8:46 mark.
And that's all set up by Luka Taves. That's a beautiful pass. That's the hockey assist right there. Broke down to D, extra pass off his beautiful skip court pass.
Lynn Kidd, no good. What a foul. But Luka Taves has been a presence, hasn't he?
Yeah, really solid minutes off the bench. Again, that's all set up by his dribble drive, skip court pass, and then unselfish play led to a wide open three. Excellent offense that time in the half court by Boston College.
Foul was on Jaden Hastings, his first, with Lynn Kidd at the line. Miami's first game without Jim Larinaga, who retired on December 26th. Here's next Saturday's ACC Network men's basketball tripleheader. Clemson hosts Florida State to start us off at 2 Eastern. Then North Carolina and NC State square off. And finally, Virginia Tech takes on Cal. It should be a terrific afternoon and evening of hoops on ACC Network. Luka Taves with the ball in a tie ball game.
Right now, Miami in zone. Again, change up of defense. They've been mainly man-to-man in this game, and they go zone in Boston College. Patient. Buries a three. That is Boston College's third three of this game.
Good look for Fred Payne. He took advantage of it. He has 11 points. A.J. State-McRae is doubled, and McFarland flummoxed him in the post.
And I think the key thing with that is he kept it in play, Hastings. Didn't block it out of bounds.
Hot pass by BC in the turnover, but Fred
The area that has been a question mark for them. Who's going to step up and give them quality minutes from the point guard position? Taves has been really solid for him off the bench today.
Cleveland, the handoff for Schwartz, guarded by Fred Payne. Cleveland from the elbow. How about Fred Payne, aggressive off the glass?
Yeah, I think, again, they've done a nice job contesting shots and then keeping Miami, continuing to keep them off the offensive glass.
Miami 26% shooting in the second half. Strong couldn't handle the pass by Taves. Cleveland blocked by Jaden Hastings, but Blackman gets it. Just joining us, BC trailed by 19 points with 8:38 left in the first half. They've led for 3 minutes and 19 seconds. They've capitalized on a 34-15 second half scoring margin. Miami's 0 for 6 for the last shots of the field, and there's Payne on the blow-by.
Well, Miami's going to have to adjust. Right now, Boston College getting down the lane just too easy.
McFarland the steal. Largest lead of the game for the Eagles.
And that's a heads-up play by McFarland. Again, could have easily thrown a lob. Good decision to pull it back out.
Taves taken away by Joe Bay. Here comes Matthew Cleveland, bumped by Fred Payne, and a foul. Second on Payne, but previous time down, Luka Taves, impressive.
Yeah, watch how he plays on this ball screen. Earl Grant talked about this. He wants his guards to fight over the top of the screen when they're playing that drop coverage. Taves does a nice job not getting beat on that ball screen. They call it bullying up over that screen, forcing the defender out as opposed to right down the lane. Excellent defense that time by Luka Taves.
1-on-1 opportunity for Cleveland. Women's basketball takes over the ACC network every Thursday starting tomorrow. We have a doubleheader that starts at 6 Eastern with Virginia Tech hosting Florida State and Stanford against SMU. All starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ACCN.
Cleveland has put together a nice afternoon. 18 points, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, and he just continues to impress me with his defense. Again, he is one of the better defenders, not just in the ACC, but in college basketball.
Former ACC Sixth Man of the Year. Florida State, strong, ill-advised shot. Miami slows the pace with Austin Schwartz. Step back three. Yes, sir. That was nice.
And the difference on that ball screen, no fight over. He steps back into a three. That's a tough step back jumper by Schwartz.
And the Eagles called timeout. So Austin's comeback was 2 years ago at Clemson when they trailed by 23 and won the game. But right now, some anxious moments for both teams.
Yeah, I think it's going to start with your offensive execution. Obviously, turnovers, that was an issue in the first half for Boston College. Can't turn it over. And then transition defense. Try to keep Miami, if you're Boston College, out of transition defense.
A reminder that Cal at Pitt coming up next on ACCN, and the bank three by Josh Beadle. How do you like that?
Well, he pointed over at somebody. I'm not sure he called glass on that, but Earl Grant and staff will take it. And if you're Miami, again, no need really to rush. I'd still go and give Lynn Kidd a touch. Try to see if you can get him reestablished in the post.
Cleveland doubled by Hastings in hand. Schwartz, waning stages of the shot clock. Kidd. And Strong's got it. But a steal by the Hurricanes. Blackman took it away. Cleveland the three, and they capitalize.
And that's a breakdown by Strong. He's got to know. He's trying to run out in the break. You have a lead. No need to go fast in that situation. Excellent job, though, by Miami capitalizing on that turnover.
Cleveland leading all scorers with 21. He has 15 in the second half. Miami with 14 points off of 14 BC turnovers. Beadle thought about it. Now he takes it, and he makes it. Josh Beadle says, you know what? I can match it.
Well, he can hit the glass. That time, nothing but net. That's back-to-back threes. That time off an excellent shot fake by Josh Beadle.
Beadle has 12. Schwartz too shy. Hastings harassed by Lynn Kidd with 96 seconds left in regulation.
This one right here, again, you got to call glass from there. But then the next one, really off a nice shot fake, poor closeout, and Beadle back-to-back threes, huge for Boston College. Now, again, not sure what they're looking at. And I think they checking to see if there was anything extra after that foul.
Previous fouls being under review.
John Gaffney on the PA, as you just heard.
Now, again, it was a hard foul. Again, right here. And again, you can make the argument, hard foul, and also he's trying to go for the ball.
Stands as a common foul.
Common foul. Is that a good call?
Yeah, I think it's a good call. Again, he wasn't, again, he's still making a play on the ball. You can make the argument. Again, it was a hard foul.
Right.
But again, in this situation, I think, again, veteran officiating crew, don't take a lot of time, look at it, really. Yeah, it might have been a little extra, but again, nothing I think that warranted a flagrant. Again, he's trying to reach for the ball right there. Out of frustration, again, excellent job by the officiating crew. Don't take a long time, take a look at it, play on.
Hastings, the missed front end of the 1-and-1. Joe Bay slashing to the rack. Athletic move by Joe Bay.
Yeah, and just poor defense by Boston College. Again, in that situation, you got to keep the ball out of the paint. Don't want to be too aggressive in that situation.
Two-possession game. And a foul on Miami. That's on Divine Ogachukwu, his third. Ogachukwu was slated to redshirt before the year. Now, keep in mind, Miami's playing without Nigel Pack. He hasn't played since December 10th. He's at home with a left foot injury, and that just takes a huge chunk of your offense and defense out of the lineup.
Yeah, again, a guy with Final Four experience, one of the better players in college basketball, not in the lineup for Miami, but the freshman has played pretty well for them.
ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum. You can see it weekdays at 4 Eastern right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Donald Hand has got both big ones for the Eagles with 75 seconds left in regulation. 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. Divine Ogachukwu blows by Beadle, but he blew the layup. And that's out of bounds off of Miami as Johnson's had a rough night. No points. He does have 8 rebounds in 25 minutes, but they want more on the offensive end from him.
Yeah, and again, that's just a really missed opportunity if you're Miami right now. If you're Boston College, key thing, getting the ball inbounded.
Miami picks him up full court. Hastings to Beadle. Beadle trying to dribble up some time. And a foul. Much to the chagrin of Paul Joe Bay, who's called for the foul. That's his third.
And Beadle has been solid as well, too. For Earl Grant, talked about production from that point guard position.
Yeah.
Obviously, the back-to-back threes was huge, but I think handling the pressure, that was really the change in this second half.
Also, BC's played the majority of the second half without Chad Venning, who has led them with 17 points. He has 3 fouls, so they've withstood his absence due to the quality minutes from Jaden Hastings and Elijah Strong. Strong has 11. The Eagles have 4 in double figures. Payne with 13, Beadle 12, and Venning with 17. Miami with Cleveland 21, Kidd 14, and Joe Bay with 10. Ogachukwu to Austin Schwartz. Cleveland the rebound. And Hand is fouled. You see 38 seconds away from posting the largest comeback ever at home. They trailed by 19 points with 6:56 remaining in the first half. And don't forget Cal at Pitt coming up next with Dave Leno and Tim Welsh. Tim Welsh, former Providence coach, and his assistant was Bill Courtney, who's now Miami's interim coach. Donald Hand at the line. Fourth foul on Paul Jobay.
And John, back to my earlier comment about Earl Grant and the staff, the job they've done with Hand last season, 5 points per game. But this year, the numbers that he is putting up for him are really impressive, coming off an ACC Player of the Week performance where he averaged 26 points per game over the last 2 games.
Ogachukwu has a chance for a three-point play. He's got a bright future for them.
Well, I've really been impressed. Again, hard to believe they were going to redshirt him, but obviously the expectation was he was going to be behind Nigel Pack and other guys. So again, let him learn, let him redshirt. But with the Pack injury, he's thrown into the fire, and he has been impressive in this game. His ability to get into the paint and man the point guard, future very bright for this young man at the free throw line. I've been impressed with his game.
Payne the rebound. And the foul on Austin Schwartz. So Payne will go to the line. So the Eagles needed this one. They'll go to 1 and 2 in the ACC more than likely with 25.8 seconds left. Miami will drop to 4 and 19 in its last 23, dating back to last year. So they're still searching.
Again, you know, these coaches understand how hard it is to win in this league. In particular, if you're without your star player. Again, I felt their guys, the energy they came out with, Coach Courtney had to be pleased in that first half. But on the other side, Earl Grant, the response in the second half, equally impressive. And that really was the difference in this game. Boston College had matched their energy and then made it difficult for Miami in that second half,
Hastings wins the rebound. Eagles will kill the clock. Elijah Strong, huge influence in the second half. Good crowd at County Forum on New Year's Day, and it's a happy new year for Boston College as they win their first